नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. This is JVN Dr. Rakesh Sharma, Professor Department of Canon of Medicine and Homeopathic Philosophy, Catholic Women's University, Jaipur. Our today's session is Carol Dunham, Philosophy, Chapter 6, Alternation of Remedies, First Part. Returning now to our argument, we find that the field is open for a science of therapeutics. In the light of what has been said, we proceed to examine the claims of homeopathy to the honor of being that science. In its structure as a science, homeopathy conforms to the model we have delineated. It consists of a law or formula which expresses the relation between two series of phenomena, those of a given case of disease on the one hand and those of a given drug proving on other. The elaboration of each of these series is the province of various subsidiary sciences and they are analogous in their mode of elaboration. Each series, however, is entirely independent of the other. Each may be pursued independently as a branch of natural science and under the heads of pathology and pathogenesis. Respectively, researches may be made in each without any view to a practical application in the cure of the sick. It is only when connected by the law of their relation that they constitute the science of therapeutics. Their application, moreover, in obedience to this law, is based upon no hypothesis respecting the essential nature of either variety of phenomena or of their modus operandi were brought into operation. This may surprise some who know how earnestly Hahnemann argued on these very points in his organon, but these arguments were no essential part of his system. They were the results of an endeavor to commend his discovery to the prevalent way of thinking. They constitute the only controvertible parts of his writings and are only positions of which have not triumphantly withstood the assaults of its critics. Coming now to apply to homeopathy as it tests the conditions to which we have shown that every inductive science must conform. We find in the first place that it is capable of infinite progress in each of its elements without such progress involving the destruction or renewal of what has been previously constructed or received. The study of phenomena was limited at first to the observation of external manifestations and subjective sensations as these might present themselves to our senses unassisted by any of the aids by which modern science has sharpened them, or to our minds unaided by that knowledge of the connection and mutual relations and dependencies of symptoms for which we are indebted to modern discoveries in chemistry and pathology. But these advances in pathology, great as they have been, have not altered the relation which the phenomena of natural disease bear to those of drug disease. These phenomena, respectively, whether rudely apprehended or clearly and fully understood in all their relations and interdependencies, still bear the same relation to each other expressed by law similia similibus curantur, and we can imagine no possible development of the sciences of pathology and pathogenesis which could alter this relation. The complete manner in which the second condition, that of prevision, is fulfilled by homeopathy is a source of inexpressible benefit to the race. It follows from the very term of the science that if the phenomena of a given case of disease be known, the law of relation will at once point to the appropriate remedy. And this indication may be relied upon with implicit confidence, even though no such case of disease has ever heretofore been subjected to treatment. Conversely, when the properties of a given drug have been investigated and its toxic phenomena well ascertained, the physician is able to pronounce with certainty what form of disease it will cure. even though no such disease has ever been witnessed or treated by himself or by anybody. An illustrious example of this prevision was afforded by Hahnemann, the terrible fatality of Asiatic cholera on its first invasion of Europe. On all sides, statements were published testifying to the immense comparative success that had attended the employment of the means recommended by Hahnemann before he had seen or treated a single dose. This one fact speaks more for homeopathy and the truth of the law of nature on which the system is founded than almost any other I could offer. That Hahnemann, from merely reading a description of one of the most appallingly rapid and fatal diseases, could confidently and dogmatically say such and such a medicine will do good in this stage of the disease, such and such other medicines in that, and that the united testimony of hundreds of practitioners in all parts of Europe should be a practical testimony to the accuracy of Hahnemann's conclusion. This session powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.